Find a good tutor.
Yeah.
Really good tutor.
She tutors, by the way, so I mean.
I have a lot of complaints though.
about the USA?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Hey guys, I'm here with Yadim, and just before I'm gonna ask her a few questions about how she uses math, but before I get into that, I was just gonna ask her, kind of how she grew up and how math is like incorporated into her life at a very early age.
So I moved to the United States almost 5 years ago. I moved here like late May 2018. So there's so much difference culturally and just the educational system wise. First of all, we learn way faster.
Yeah,
We learn like
we lack a little in that area. I'll give it.
but also I was in the private institutions in Korea, so I actually was 1 year ahead than most Korean kids too. So it's usually 2 years ahead, but I was 3 years ahead whenever I moved here. I have a lot of complaints though.
about the USA?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Yeah.
I mean I'm just stating the facts. Like
Yeah.
I try not to like make my own opinion. It's pretty much brainwash method over there. They teach you the almost like pretty much the same way as if any other Korean kids will learn. I mean, I guess it's gonna depend a little bit. When you purchase a book, the curriculum stays the same no matter what school you go to. So like there's no difference in grades. There's no way like you can like take different courses like geometry and algebra. Like they don't even call geometry and algebra over there. It's all mixed up. Korean people do teach a lot of shortcuts, like a ton of shortcuts compared to here. And they teach you in a way that is very step oriented. We did lots of calculation as a young age. Even before I had private institutions, I had like private teacher coming to my house and just do calculations just over and over again.
Yeah.
Until you get it so fast. And then they teach you the way, like the techniques behind on how to solve like the algebra, like moving around all the polynomials and the factoring, whatever like you call it. They teach you how to do the technique first and then do the busy calculations. Like I saw the kids like getting confused because like they're thinking about fractions and decimals. I'm like, no, that's not the point. Teachers will throw out problems that confuse kids before they're ready to solve those.
Yeah, so one of the things that kind of coincides with everything that you learn in Korea is you were kind of talking about the curriculum. So do you think that, because over here, like for instance, in a gifted classroom, you go way off the curriculum. Like even though we're learning algebra or algebra 2 relates to pre-calc and calculus, there's a lot of different concepts that we learn that's out of the curriculum. So in Korea, are you guys very, very strict on what you teach and like it's all on the curriculum, or do teachers sometimes go off of what they really want to teach?
Usually they don't. They are really strict about curriculums. I mean, at least the school I went to, it's very, very like they don't really jump around the curriculum because I think the people who like made the whole set of curriculum, they made sure to not confuse kids.
Yeah, I don't think America does that really well. I mean, there's a lot of things, and not even just in math, just in the education aspect in America as well. Is there's a lot of confusing things that you really learn it, and you're just like, okay, I just learned that. How like when am I ever going to use that? Yeah, that kind of takes us to the first question, which is how you use math in your day-to-day basis and like in your job and things like that.
Job wise, I tutor math.
Yeah,
first of all. So I mean, I just finished tutoring just now. So yeah, I use math every day. I watch a lot of math YouTube videos for fun because they're very entertaining and they visualize a lot of concepts. But besides that, math, if I wanted to use it daily, I use a lot for my scheduling. I would calculate the time on each things that I want to do. Those are like just simple calculation, but also later I'm going to talk about more, but stock trading or anything else, like it doesn't have to be that. Oh yeah, grocery shopping too. Like you can calculate those weights and stuff. And then my mindset is very oriented to like those money system and stuff because like I love business and also I want to become somewhat financially independent in the future. So I am very aware of my spending, and I would say just normal people stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think a little more than what I have to. I would actually make sure I'm on the right track with my goals in order to achieve what I want.
You definitely, well, being a math tutor, you definitely use math more than the average person. So do you think over, well, how many years have you been tutoring? Probably not too long.
2 years.
So you think over the 2 years you've actually strengthened like skills that were probably weak
Yes.
whenever you were in high school? Like you probably looked
Um,
over a problem and like there's no way I could have figured that out whenever I was in 10th grade or 11th grade or however old you were.
yes. So basically, it's weird. I wanted to talk about this too. So I never experienced this in my life until I moved here. Whenever I learned a concept in Korea and moved here and relearned it in a different language, I had no choice but to just stick to the classes here. They didn't let me like test it out.
I mean, it really is relearning.
Yeah.
Like, because America is so different on how they teach things. And, well, I mean, every country is,
Yeah.
but especially America. So I think that, like, you could consider it relearning. You're basically learning it again
I know.
a whole different way.
It's just different style, I guess. But definitely, like, even if it's the same topic, Korea is way harder.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I've seen some of the stuff that you've shown me on like
yeah, Korean people usually like to separate into 3 different sections, like the easy, medium, and hard. When I moved here,
it's all together.
No. And when I moved here, the American curriculum is usually just on the easy side.
I mean, you're encouraged to go ahead in Korea. Like you're encouraged to go through the medium with ease and then go into the harder parts and really start to like take a deeper dive into what you're learning.
Yeah. So there are some of the challenging books, just like ACT prep book, but in Korea there's way more diverse because it's academically very like developed over there.
Yeah.
But there are companies that specifically make for hard, challenging problems, and people like me kind of like to do it. Whenever I moved here and relearned everything, I started to see so many different ways and so many like more shortcuts than what I've even known before. A lot of people already do like calculations in their head, but I'm not talking about that. When you kind of close your eyes and then you kind of like visually move it around and then you can calculate it in your head and then get the answer right away.
Yeah, no, I could never do that. Like just talking about it is making me dizzy trying to think about how I would substitute and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, not with crazy calculator. I can't do that. I have to write it down. But like, I never was able to do that until I moved here. So like, it's very weird.
Yeah. So you like sharpen all these skills that you've been developing since you were extremely young. But is there times where you kind of like sit down and research any new mathematical like techniques or any of that? Like, do you have that eager mentality to always be learning more and more about learning math?
Yeah, so since I'm taking a gap year, right? I'm not in school right now, but I remember when I was not that busy with tutoring, I wanted to challenge myself more. So I would watch the videos that talk about different math topics, and I kind of pick one because I know what I love. I love the algebra side, not the geometry side. I would dig into that and then see what kind of chapters they have, and then kind of go in an order of what I should do next, which is linear algebra. So I would type on Google and then try to find a PDF or like a textbook, but not necessarily a textbook because that's like too much. That's like 200 pages.
Yeah.
So I will find like a summarized PDF and print it out, and it's kind of fun. I like it. And then if I get stuck, I would watch YouTube videos for visualization, especially if it's graphed. But if not, I would actually go to Korean websites because they are more.
They're probably more useful. They're probably more in depth too, huh?
Yeah.
Is there like a math that you really despise? Because I mean, right now you're talking to someone who generally does not like math. Like I've never really excelled. But is there like a concept or like something that you do that you literally just cannot stand doing? But I mean, you said you don't like geometry, but
yeah. But besides that, I mean, if I had to pick between geometry and algebra, I would pick algebra. Like it doesn't mean I hate geometry, as you can see over there. That's topography, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a geometry, I guess. You kind of cut the donut into like 3D shape, and you can like split it, but they're all like connected though. And people actually use
like optical illusions, kind of like this.
Yeah, that people actually use that in medical fields to calculate the people's organs.
Like the artificial ones, or
no, I mean like to like test the medicine and stuff and see like if it's working or not on people's intestines and measure the surface area. But like besides that, the one that I kind of don't like is probability.
Probability?
I don't like probability.
Like the chance of you doing something?
No, I don't like this. I mean,
really?
I mean, the main reason is because I think my head kind of doesn't wrap around it. But I think my head is a little slower than most people on that part, but also like it's a lot of reading.
Yes.
I don't like reading.
You really have to take into context everything.
Yeah. another thing is when I had to teach college students, because I did teach a lot of college students too, but some of them needed help with statistics, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, you really didn't want to do that, huh?
Yeah, but I tried because it was 50 an hour.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
So
you like math is such a valuable skill. I mean, I don't even really understand it that much, like how valuable it is. But just hearing you talk about people using it in the medical field, like I would have never thought in a million years you'd be
yeah,
using patterns like that
yeah,
to help like
it's
potentially
everywhere.
save someone's life.
Yeah, it's
Like it's
everywhere.
really cool how much we think. It's interesting how much people think you don't use math. And then whenever there's people like you who use it on a day-to-day basis, and then you've got
Yeah.
people who are using it in these extremely crucial scenarios. So I don't know, it's just really interesting to me how we
Yeah.
learn it in school and then people go out and change the world with it as
Yeah,
well.
I know, yeah.
So you're a tutor, you're a manager at Jersey Mike's,
Yeah.
you play music.
And YouTube.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff, a lot
So
of hobbies.
what do you think like you can tell people who don't believe that you should use like that are basically like me and are like you're never going to use this? Why learn it?
Oh,
Because I mean, clearly you use it every day now.
what kind of pisses me off
Mm-hmm.
about this American education system is that, I mean, current kids say that the same thing too. Like, why are we learning this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's like no point. And I do agree with that though. Like, I think not everybody should learn the same math concepts as they should,
Mm-hmm.
because some people don't care. Like, and I get it. Like, I don't care about certain things, like some literature stuff. And I
I
don't think
love literature. So I mean, I'm in your shoes for math, but in ELA.
yeah, I know. So like, I don't think that everybody should learn calculus. Everybody should learn certain advanced math in high school, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has their own strength. But the thing that I'm not happy about the whole education system is the application, like the part why we are learning it. Because like, if you take out the
Yeah.
part why it happens, like it doesn't even make sense why you're learning it. Like, why are
Mm-hmm.
you even learning? It doesn't open your like mind to learn it and absorb the knowledge if you don't know why you're learning it and how it's going to use and how it's applied to the world.
Yeah.
Because if you know it, you start to like add the value and the meaning to it, and it makes sense. That's why a lot of word problems, when I teach, a lot of kids struggle with word problems because they don't kind of wrap around their
Yes.
head, or
Oh my
like, yeah,
goodness.
they can understand the numbers, because as long as the teachers kind of shove it to your head on how to like solve it with the patterns, you kind of get it. But when you actually have the word problem with it, with the words to describe it, they don't know it.
I'm very fortunate. I have a really good teacher who's definitely going to see this interview. But so the way he teaches is we have our concepts, which we go through one by one.
Mhm.
And as soon as we kind of learn like all the math that you need to know, he really helps us like wrap our heads around how to use it. And like,
Mm.
and then as soon as we have like this small little gap, he
Mhm.
fills it by giving us like a word problem.
Uh-huh.
And it's just he's very strategic in what he does. So I think
Mm.
I'm sure like every single teacher like that in Korea is like that in Korea,
I
but
guess, yeah.
the way that they apply problems to real life in Korea, it's presented a lot more efficiently than over here in our textbook.
I can't really say that because I'm a math nerd.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
was a weird one too in Korea too. Like
yeah.
not a lot of people like math, even though there are more people in Korea that like math compared to your, I think. Definitely, I just dug into like more of the application, because like those YouTube channels, they actually tell you on how it's used.
Hmm.
But Korean teachers don't even like really talk about it.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of unfortunate. That's why I kind of said in the beginning that Korea doesn't really talk about it too. But like, I think they teach a little bit more than here. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just say this, but I maybe went to a wrong school here.
I mean, it seems like you got a pretty good education considering you were. Well, also to take note that Korea moves a lot faster than here, but it seems like you're well beyond the average, I
I
guess,
think
nerd
so.
over here. Like you're just extremely smart when it comes to numbers. But like, what's the top
Mhm.
hardest project or task that you've ever had to complete? It's probably you probably got to think back a good bit.
I don't know if it's a project, but it's something that I've been trying to figure out with stock options. So,
Hmm.
this is totally out of school, but if it was in school, I had one project that I had to do for like a competition, I think, and I had to write
Yeah.
like a research paper on it as a
Oh,
middle schooler.
jeez,
I
that just
spent
shows the difference. Like,
I spent like 6.5 hours.
wow.
Oh yeah, and then we had to debate about it.
Hmm.
So I was in girls' school, all girls, and there were 4 girls, including me, with the desk, and then there were teachers examining us talking.
That is nerve wracking. I mean, that's a little common. It was for math, huh?
Math and science.
Yeah, and I mean ELA. I mean, you're debating and you're having to like talk amongst peers.
In Korea.
Or Korea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and in middle school, you said?
Yeah,
That's
second grade.
Second grade. Wow.
No, second grade middle school, which is 8th grade in Korea. I mean, here. It's a different system.
Oh yeah. That's so like bizarre.
We would actually like try to attack each other. Why? Or, like,
really?
Why? Yeah.
So you all have different points.
Yeah, and then I would actually state the political side of it too, like if I had to, because they were pouring some hard questions to answer. Like I had to like have evidence to back up. But I ended up winning the first place, so that was pretty.
First
nice.
place.
Yeah, and then I had to compete with other school kids to represent my school, which I don't think that went well. I don't remember. They don't really like give us the results unless you win, I think. But there were so many people there though. It was me and the other girl that got the second place, and then we had to write a research paper in certain like in an hour. We had to read so much, and we had to like write it. That was not fun, but the first part was fun.
Yeah, but the stock options, like I was gonna say, how do you like? What's the big deal with math in that scenario?
So stock options is a total different monster compared to original stocks. So original stocks are pretty easy. You can just buy low stuff.
You buy it,
or you can do the inverse. You know, like you can buy something that's inverse. So that whenever the whole market goes down, ETFs.
There's a lot more to it than I know.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you don't have to know math. Like my dad, he traded for 4 years, I think. He stopped right now, but he's not a math nerd. Like I'm the only math nerd in my family. He just calculated, just basic calculations on trying to like maximize the profits and predict the future about the outcomes and stuff. But the reason why I kind of love this is because the behind of the math concept, Black-Scholes model, I think, like those are like the hard concept. I kind of don't like how it involves statistics though, but it's pretty nice and neat to know how things work, because like stock options, it's 100 shares per contract, and like there are so many different formats of trading, because stock options is what set a range and you're kind of predicting that the price will stay in between the range. If that makes sense. You can put on one side and then predict it's gonna go to the upside or downside, or you can set it in between. But that's just general thing. There's so much math behind it, and the way I kind of researched was going through the website called Tasty Trade.
Yeah.
They have different courses. They have beginner courses and advanced courses, and there's a math course that explain the behind scenes. And there are some people that are like math nerds, like I love them. And they like explain with the PowerPoint method, and they explain like they do it every Wednesday, I think. But I don't watch these days, but when I was really into the stuff there, I would like watch almost every videos, and it was nice. But I still had trouble understanding because it was really, really high level math.
Yeah.
So I was trying to like dig it, but I think I kind of gave up on it.
Yeah.
Because it was too much. Besides that, crypto and stuff, I know people like hate it, which I kind of get. I hate when people like hype it up.
What stuff. Crypto?
Yeah. Like
it's interesting. It's an interesting field.
Yeah, but like I just don't like the hype and like just over promotion, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just like the technology behind it, like the blockchain and everything. I just like the science, technology, and math behind of it, and I like to research. But yeah, that's actually the thing that I was going to do before stuff happened. The whole reason I wanted to take a gap year was to write research papers about cryptos. So I would.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would research each crypto, because there are like 10,000. I bet it's more now, but at the time it was 10,000 cryptos, and I would research each coin, read everything like articles and like the math and science, like technology behind it, and then determine the value of the crypto. That this is worth it. Like you should buy it for the next 10 years, whatever. And then I would like kind of make a research paper and like publish as I say, but probably I'm gonna like put it on a blog or something. That's what I was going to do until like my family kind of tanked down its financial situation, so I kind of had to like get a job. But yeah, that was the whole thing outside of school.
Yeah, we're kind of wrapping it up, but I have like a really big question, is that for someone who maybe isn't as passionate or maybe not as eager to learn math, what's like a big recommendation of something that comes into play whenever you're trying to understand harder concepts?
Find a good tutor.
Yeah.
Really good tutor.
She tutors, by the way, so I mean. I guess she's a good tutor.
You gotta meet the good teacher. I was very lucky. I say this because I met the private institution teacher. She was really good. If I would have just relied on my public school teachers, I don't think I would be who I am right now, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'm that serious because it's a business too.
Yeah.
Like there are so many private institutions out there that are like so professional, and some of the like smart kids, they go to those smart institutions to like become like globally, I don't know. My teacher, even though she was not like those crazy like institution like people, she helped me like a lot. If it's one-to-one interaction, it's way better than trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't have that access to like getting a tutor, I will watch YouTube videos, but like those ones that are very entertaining, just to kind of open your mind on the application and like learning side of why. I mean, you just gotta have like the interest in it. You should like question things first, even though at first it might be all over the place searching online, because it usually is, because there's so much info out there,
especially with like the internet is such a big tool nowadays. You can learn anything.
I know at first it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming, but you're gonna have to kind of stick to it and then kind of like sort it out and figure out what you like and what you don't.
Yeah, I think going into this interview I was a little nervous. It's for a project and for a grade, but I actually learned a very good bit on how someone like you uses, or really anyone uses all these things on a daily basis. I think there's a really big, or I guess a rumor that people believe that's been told over the years, that you're not going to use any of this and that it's all just a waste. But
most people don't use it because they don't choose to.
Yeah, but I mean, it clearly makes your life easier.
Yeah.
And clearly you take pride in learning all these new things. So I think there's a lot of opportunity in the future if someone just kind of looks deeper into concept that maybe they don't know or maybe they don't like. But yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Bye.
Yes. Bye. That was fun.